Alright guys, today we will cover more Steam drama. This video is by Water CS2, so definitely go and check out his channel.
Imagine a world where your credit card company decides what games you can buy on Steam. That unthinkable future just arrived. Valve, known for its hands-off approach, has added a new rule that would change PC gaming forever.
This is like the 15th rule. Let me read it for you. Alright. So let's get back.
Forever. Not by
content that may violate the rules of standards set forth by Steam's payment processors, which are Visa and MasterCard or related companies. Payment processor, PayPal, by the way, because they say that PayPal are like related to this. Networks and banks or internet network partners, in particular certain kinds of adult-only content. This is bad for games that are not like cartoonish. The thing is, PayPal and other payment companies now can ban or tell Steam to ban games just because they do not like it. If they have blood or if they have a certain thing, like many people said, stuff like in the game of Andrew and Ashley, the coughing game, that games alike could be banned because of incest, yet it does not really have much of such content. It does not contain like hentai. It's only containing like stuff that says it might happen, or this is might some people don't care about it because they say we won't play such type of games, but this could adult only content. This could be even for blood or horror games because they are an adult only content. If Steam payment processors so that horror and jump scares are not good for the health of the players, so they can ban Resident Evil from Steam, this is something bad that gamers will not really like. And this could shatter people trust in the platform and make even indies or publishers not publish games on Steam if that really happened, and we do not really know till yet what's the full extent of that matter. And in my opinion, what I've seen from such situations, I don't know why companies do such stupid stuff, because it will be in radar. People will not just neglect it. People will talk about it and try their best to stop you from doing what they are rightful to do, which is play the games that they want to play, not the games that you want them to play.
By law, but by the powers of payment processors like Visa and MasterCard. Starting today, Valve updated its What You Shouldn't Publish on Steam section to include content that may violate the rules set forth by Steam's payment processors.
And I don't really know why Steam allowed that. They could just say for them, fuck yourself, and we are not gonna do this.
And related card networks and banks or internet network providers, in particular, certain kinds of adult-only content. This seemingly vague line has already been used, as SteamDB has reported the removal of a bunch of games, mainly the ones with incest themes. While Valve hasn't explicitly named the names of the reason for this happening,
they already banned games. This is very, very bad thing to happen. This means that they are serious about it, and I don't know how could something like this happen without supervision saying, whoa, this will get some internet attention and get us in a lot of trouble. So yeah,
mainly the ones with incest themes. While Valve hasn't explicitly named the names of the reason for this,
because again, they will start with something very small, like incest content containing games, and then they will say, we banned this game because actually did not like align maybe with their agenda or stuff like that, but then they say, because it contained blood content, which is not good for players to watch or stuff like that. So it's just an excuse to actually do the things that they want.
Unconfirmed reports and industry patterns strongly point to major players like PayPal, Visa, and MasterCard, the most popular payment methods on Steam. There were even unconfirmed rumors about PayPal's temporary unavailability on Steam pointing to this, but I couldn't find anything that confirmed this was directly tied to PayPal. One group, Collective Shout, a campaign for women.
Alright. By the way, people, you need to keep an eye for this group. I I won't really say much of details, but many problems coming from the gaming industry comes from this or such similar groups. And I know the demand of payment processors stop facilitating rape, incest, and child abuse game sales looks like something good, but the not really much games in Steam, a very big title in Steam contained even such stuff. And child abuse, like, what do you even mean? Some people want to write a story about a child who got abused, so people don't do it. It's just like saying you should not put killing in games because it's bad, and people will want to kill people because they killed a character or saw a character get killed in video game. It's in the story, so people shouldn't do it. Like, it's just like saying we cannot show Game of Thrones because actually Game of Thrones have incest, or they are explicitly remove that. They are literally saying how bad is it to do such stuff in such context of story. This is so vague, so plasticky to say, because it could be reformed into many ways. It's not like saying that games that make people want to do this stuff, which also would be fake. So you cannot really they didn't put a really good statement to really explicit the things that they want to happen. They did a very major thing. They just said, oh, we don't want bad things to happen, which it's people that usually do that want just to surpass their agendas by just saying we want to do the good thing.
And seems to be the ones mainly responsible, having released several articles and open letters to these payment processors making claims about the games on Steam just within the last few days. So, as these companies took note of this letter and told Valve they were going to leave the platform, Valve was left with adding this rule and giving these payment companies a bunch of power over Steam. This new rule...
And again, why did they threaten Steam that we are going to leave the platform? This makes no sense. Why are you threatening him? If you are really having a good case, just like Stop Killing Games case, you can just tell people, aware people of it, and people that really use the platform will stress the company to do the thing if it was really the right thing. But telling them, oh, I will no longer give you the things that you need from me just because suddenly I want this thing, which is really weird to do, because if you really have a good case, just like Stop Killing Games, people will be with you in that case. So you could do a previous step by telling the people to help you pressure Steam into doing the right thing. So why just you did it privately and not many people heard about it?
Is important because it's not just a small tweak, it's a fundamental change to Steam, as now these payment processors or other companies like internet providers...
And again, even that low, even if it was not a bad thing or a bad policy to do, or what about if they wanted another policy and threatened the same? Oh, we don't want games that have FPS mechanics anymore. It's just an example. You know what kind of agenda and stuff they want to really put or process in video games. So let's say they wake up in the morning and they don't like FPS games anymore, and they say, we don't want any FPS games now in Steam. Will you do it? Or we're gonna go if you don't. And Steam just gonna say, yes sir, which is weird to do, in my opinion. If I was someone in a very big management or whatever, someone who have a decision in Steam, I would say no, go out. I don't really need you if you're gonna pressure me into doing something that I don't really want or align with my company usual state, which people trust Steam because of it.
Have direct influence on Steam and what games are allowed on the platform. For many, this is a big worry. If payment companies can decide what adult content is allowed, people are asking what stops them from deciding about other things next. This is where we get into a slippery slope, where one small change could lead to much bigger, unwanted changes down the road. Now, it's important to understand that Valve is likely left with very few choices in this situation, as not listening to the payment processors would have led to them removing their services from the platform, which is
do they really will remove their process of transaction in Steam just because that Steam didn't listen to them, or just there was a middle group that pressured both Steam and the payment processor units because they do not fucking care about that. PayPal and other companies, they just want to generate money, and we all know such stuff. They are not like trying to fix the world type of companies. So a middle group that just pressured both of them using some either political agenda or other agendas just to pressure the both companies that this company will not allow it because they are related to us, and this company you cannot really neglect the support of this company, so either you do what we say or you lose such stuff. And many people will say, but Steam would get worried of not using PayPal. I'm telling you, if they just refused, they would not pressure them ever again, and the possibility of PayPal just forgetting about the stuff and not doing anything, and the problem being solved for Steam in a month or two, is the highly happening state. Not like they will. Steam generates a lot of money, much more than you expect. So they would not want to be inside Steam.
Many have reported happened already by PayPal shortly before this rule was added. Now, to truly understand how big this change is, we need to look at Steam's past. This isn't about the specific adult games taken down, it's about a complete reversal of Valve's long-standing, hands-off approach to moderation. Before, Steam allowed a lot of games on the platform, as long as it wasn't outright illegal. The main times Valve would take down a game were if it had some malware inside, broke one of the very few Valve rules, or a specific government requested to get it removed. Valve's position with moderation and the relaxed rules led to Steam having a large number of adult games, and sometimes other controversial content. This position Valve had brought them a bunch of complaints. In 2018, Steam faced criticism for a hate group problem due to lax enforcement against hate speech. Now, this wasn't a game, but it shows how Valve generally handled moderating across the entire platform. In December 2022, US Senator Maggie Hassan even questioned Valve's efforts regarding Nazism, white supremacy, and misogyny on the platform.
Again, some games just are talking about Nazism. You cannot, like, when you write a story, your story does not have any things related to the word white supremacy. It happens. It is in our world, so writers gonna write about it in their video games. You cannot really not write about it or do it in a video game, because there is always something bad happening in the world. I cannot make a game where everyone is happy and no one is sad and there is no protagonist or antagonist and we are just living in the same dream world that we think of. It's not gonna be interesting. People sometimes wanna play as the villain or as the hero that kills the villain. And sometimes to make an interesting story writing, you need to make the villain have bad stuff that he does and good stuff that he does, so players can really think, is he really a villain or something like that. This is what a good story writing sometimes is, and we cannot neglect that because we cannot make good video games anymore if we did not involve such stuff. So this is stupid to say, wow, we need games to have no political agenda or no political stuff happening in it. I don't want the game to have any blood. I don't want the game to have any sexualization of any character. Sometimes you need to make some people want to make a character that is a bit sexualized because it's in its storyline that this particular imaginary individual got into some job that is related to that. So when you are walking in the street, you are seeing such stuff, especially if it was like a medieval era or stuff like that. So it is something that could be done in story writing. So we cannot just neglect all of this and make video games free of everything. This is truly stupid. And people who are telling the companies to do this didn't ever play any video game.
In late 2024, ADO made a report about how Steam had an extremism and anti-Semitism problem, which
And
led
it's
to
not Steam, it's the people who are publishing these games. And if nobody wants to play these games, you would not hear about them, because there are many games that in the graveyard of Steam because nobody ever wants to play them. So when a game gets famous, it means it has its own people that want to try it. Even if the story is a bit extremist or something like that, maybe it's because you're not really dividing the stuff between the story writing has a character that is a Nazi or something like that, and the game telling you to be a Nazi, which is a very big difference.
another US Senator, Mark Warner, asking Valve to do something or face further scrutiny by the US government. But Valve usually just ignored these complaints and requests.
Yeah, that's
for
the good
stronger
thing to do. Ignore these fucking complaints. Nobody cares about them, and they will just be neglected in a month or two.
moderation. As long as nothing was outright illegal or broke their existing rules, they generally wouldn't intervene with the content on their platform. So now,
And that's why many people really love Steam, because they are sure they are getting something solid. Most of the things in Steam is solid because of good reviews, because of they do not make anyone make shit in the platform or do change policies whenever they want to. So people feel confident when publishing or playing games in Steam. So Steam killing that would kill their platform, especially with the competition. Steam are a bit forgetting that Epic Games are investing a lot of money in the Epic Launcher and even making free games for each week or something like that. Do you want to really make such a big mistakes in a very competitive market with Epic Games right now?
payment processors are no longer just handling your transactions, they're becoming content gatekeepers with massive power over what can be bought and sold online. The thing is, this isn't just a Steam issue, this is happening all over, showing a clear pattern. We've seen major hits in Japan's anime and manga market. For example, platforms like Soruga and Manga Library Z were forced to remove adult content or even shut down because payment processors demanded it. Another Japanese platform, DL Site, even tried to fight back, temporarily blocking Visa and MasterCard to keep its adult content available. Just this year, payment processors in Japan started holding back money from adult game creators on Steam. This was such a big deal that it led to an official investigation by the Japanese government into these payment companies
and again, they cannot do that for a long time. Again, if it gets into a very big situation and Steam maybe even file a lawsuit or even people going and making drama about it, an investigation gonna happen and they just gonna need to forget the thing about making someone to do a policy whether they like it or not, because it is their platform, man. You are just a service for transaction. You cannot decide what's happening in their platform. That's so bad and putting Steam in so much of a weak situation right now.
It's not just Japan either. OnlyFans in 2021 famously announced that they would ban all sexual content because of pressure from their payment processors, until they reversed the decision. Patreon too has faced similar issues in the past. So as we're seeing with Steam's new rule, this isn't just Valve's problem. It's a widespread issue showing how these powerful payment companies like
I know it's a very famous thing that happened long time. It's just shocking that a platform like Steam that never accepted some people are affecting their policies doing that, especially that the people are using Steam just because they are confident of it. It's not because of okay, there's multiple factors, but the most factors just like, yeah, it's solid platform to share and play games, and I'm confident that I will get most of the games that are there and I will play it with no problems. But now having drama, like some publishers that makes adult content will not want to share your game in Steam, and whether you like it or not, or I'm one of the guys that really don't play adult content games because they do not interest me that much. But there is a community for it. There's people that want to play it, and it's right. They're right to do so. There's nothing illegal about it. So you cannot just force them to not play it. And if you did, you will lose a big portion of your people in your platform. Not because they want adult content. It's because you are telling everyone that we will remove whatever we want and we will edit policies whenever we want and just remove games for no any particular real reason, not just like we did before that we refuse such stuff, whatever the legal or the illegal pressure we're putting into Steam. So this is Steam biggest selling point, by the way, which is the customer trust for Steam. So killing it like this would make Steam be in a very, very hard situation, in my opinion.
Visa and MasterCard are deciding what gets sold and what doesn't across the internet. The thing is, now we're seeing this first step. If payment processors can now influence certain kinds of adult-only content, the real question is, where does it stop?
Because maybe someone makes a video game that says there is a company called the Vira, which is a very bad company in his video game, and it's a payment processing company actually, and Visa just banned the game saying, oh, this game contains blood. No blood games are in the platform that I am influencing in a very, very sketchy, weird way. So exactly, where does it stop? Where can we draw the line of such stuff? You can't. The company will. And this is a scary thing for people. People don't want to make risks in a risky platform. They want to solve the platform to publish their game or play their games.
A concern for many people. If these powerful companies can block one type of content today, what prevents them from moving on to other types tomorrow? Could it be games that talk about different political topics? What about games that tell stories some people might find controversial or challenging? Could they even push for changes on games that don't fit certain beliefs, even if they're perfectly legal? The door is now wide open. Before, Steam decided, but with Valve's new rule, these payment processing companies and others like internet providers now have a huge say for what's allowed on Steam. This means they could, in the future, decide what games you buy, not based on laws, but on their rules. This is a big deal, because it takes away control from Valve and gives it to these companies whose main job isn't about games or art, but about
exactly, they don't
trading.
know a shit about games, they just know about numbers and other stuff like that. So I don't know why Steam thought it was a good idea to do that.
Transaction. Now, I've already seen a few different suggestions from different Steam users, including exploring different payment options, like maybe
people will not even fucking care not using PayPal and stuff like that. Who the fuck cares? I have a fucking 100, maybe I don't know what the number is of MasterCards and payment services, because they are everywhere nowadays. No one cares if they can use Steam without using these stuff. Some people might have accessibility issues, but if these companies saw that you don't really need them, so they cannot pressure you with doing that, they will say, you know what, we do not want to do that anymore. You can do whatever the shit you want. It's just, you cannot just surrender to them and say, yeah, sorry my master, now you can do whatever you want in my platform because you are doing some accessibility options in it. I'm so sorry because some people made some video games that alerted you. Fuck off. No one cares about them.
crypto, or even the possibility of Valve developing its own payment system. Think of a Valve Pay to get around these restrictions entirely. Valve's new rule, which is directly influenced by powerful payment processors, card companies, banks, and internet providers, marks a big moment for the platform. What do you think Valve should do? Should
So yeah,
payment processors have
I think Valve should refuse that entirely. They should remove this policy and make a statement that we're not gonna do that anymore, because it's a very bad move for Steam in a business wise, in a marketing wise, in every way possible. As you see, many people are talking about this, me including, because it's a stupid thing to do. You cannot let these stuff slide away without people noticing it, and it's gonna be a big drama, and I'll try cover as much as I can of this. So yeah, again, go check out Water CS2 channel about their link in the description, and thanks for watching. See you in the next episode.